Routes Farmers Market Collegiate Quad, and it has been everything we said it would be. Four of the best teams in the country, maybe a preview of the NCAA Finals, and it has lived up to the billing. It has been Oklahoma, though, from the start through the third rotation, but that lead, 0.125 over the LSU Tigers right now, that is a razor-thin margin, certainly something that you cannot be comfortable with if you're Oklahoma. They have not been perfect. They had a miss on the vault in the last rotation, but they managed to put up 4 hits after that. They are going to move to the bars here in that final rotation. Again, they're great on every event, but their bars usually just flies. Cal will be on the vault. Utah will be on the balance beam. LSU, the closest team to that top spot where Oklahoma currently resides, will be on floor exercise. You heard Jay Clark, Allie, say their best event, and historically they have been unbelievable there.
That's true. They were ranked #1 in the country on floor last year.
Where the Cal Bears on vault here in this final rotation. Here's the thing on vault. I feel like Cal needs to stick to some landings, and those have been tough to come by on this event.
Yurchenko full, that's out of a 9.95. Big hop backwards. Yurchenko full, they go for that. I don't want to use the word easier ball because it's very hard, but it's not out of a 10.0. It's a 9.95 because they want the gymnast to stick that landing.
Well, it is an easier vault, but you said it. Sometimes they do, and that was a big Yurchenko full, and honestly, LSU has a big Yurchenko full typically in their lineup because it's so clean and you can stick. The problem with that one, big hop out of that landing. Anna Patarariu, former Canadian national team member on beam for Utah. Danny Sievers here for Oklahoma on bars.
Danny is so consistent on this event, and her superpower is the way that she's able to stick or dismount. Let's see if she can do it today.
Oh my gosh, Allie just called her out.
I hope not. I hope I didn't jinx her. Watch her body position and her head and her eyes as she spots the landing.
Oh!
She heard me.
Why did I doubt you, Allie? I'm a fool. Didn't even question you.
I've watched her over and over again hit every single dismount step, so I felt comfortable taking that risk.
As guaranteed as me getting my tea latte in the morning, a stuck landing on bars from Danny Sievers. That was fantastic. Sierra Ballard, she started off on the balance beam rotation for LSU. She also starts this floor rotation, and she has got a big double layout mount. And if you hear anything in the crowd, it's envy and jealousy from the other teams, because who would want a double layout like this to start their floor rotation?
Hips open the entire time on floor, legs straight. Oh, almost went out of bounds. I think she saved it. And Anna on beam. What I loved about that routine is she did a sheep jump where she threw both of her legs in the air bent and threw her head back, completely losing sight of the beam. Great start for Utah.
Maya Wiley on vault for Cal, 9.75 to get things started there for Williams. And you're going to have to do better than that here with these next 5 vaulters.
Good elbows tight on the table. Yurchenko 1.5, good ball. And Sierra, right after her jump series we just saw, she finds her parents in the stands while she's competing. That's very rare for a gymnast. I don't know where she has the time to do that, but it's impressive. Opened up just a hair too early on that double tuck. Would have preferred her to take a step back instead of a step forward, but good start for LSU on floor.
And one of her parents is mom, Lori, a 1988 and 1992 Olympian for Canada.
Pay attention to the landing. Let's see if she goes out of bounds. Does an excellent job keeping it in. But we'll get a deduction for that wobble out of that, but did a good job saving that. That's not easy to do when you have so much momentum from that first pass.
And keep in mind, the line is in. It's not football. It's not basketball. You can step on the line, just don't go over the line. Addison Theta on bars. Candy Winger on beam for Utah. Utah started with a 9.75. Danny Sievers a 9.9 for Oklahoma.
Addison flying in that pirouette exactly on top of the bar. Double layout, just that slight hop backwards. On beam, back handspring layout, very difficult. Step forward on that might be half a tenth or 10th deduction.
Did it so smooth though. She took that little step forward, but it almost looked like choreography.
She did a good job dancing out of it. I think the best gymnasts on beam, they're able to cover their balance checks with dancing out of it. That's the same series we saw from Aaliyah.
Chase Brock for LSU. Sierra Ballard led things off 9.25 from the cruise director.
Great job for Cami. It's not easy when you're going on beam. Every gymnast has their own style, but you can hear oftentimes the floor music starting, someone going on bars, the crowd making noise. So you've really got to learn. It takes a lot of practice to stay in your own zone, but of course easier said than done.
Addison Beta 9.875 for her bar routine, so two great scores for Oklahoma to start. Ella Cesario follows Wiley's 9.825 scores. Gotta build for Cal if they want to keep pace with Oklahoma.
Ella has beautiful form. Watch her hips and her body position as she comes down from this full. Just that hop backwards. But Ella stands out to me as a gymnast because she's got impeccable form. It's hard to find a deduction when you watch her.
Well done from Chase Brock. I thought it was interesting. Jake Clark told us earlier this week, he said, I'm going to use the entirety of the season to grow to where we need to be at the end of the year. And what that means is they might not be perfect. They might not be sticking all the landings. They might not have the exact lineup they want to have. But every meet, they want to learn something about themselves, get better, so they can be the best they can be at the right time. And truly, that's what you want to do in this sport.
Yeah, I don't think he's given himself enough credit because they look unbelievable end of season ready here today. But you don't want to peak right now. You want to peak in April at the national championship. It's so hard as a gymnast and a coach to time that correctly.
Freshman Barry Peterson for Oklahoma on bars, McKenna Smith for Utah on beam. Stuart Gilbert for Utah 9.825 for winger.
That was a particularly extra special double layup because her body was so squeezed and so tight, and that's why she stuck it, because her technique was so sound.
And that stuck landing. She left no doubt. I think she held it just a little extra long. Just check me out. That's how you stick the landing.
And McKenna right there, you saw she put her chest down. That's going to be a 2-10 deduction. She did not touch the beam. But when you land sideways on the beam, you're not able to grip with your toes in the way that you can when you're facing forward. So it's extra risky.
Olivia Dunn, an outstanding performance in LSU's opener last week. Trying to do the same thing here today. McKenna Smith finishing up. Can she match that 9-9? Utah needs it. And Mayhew following a 9.825 from Cesario on ball for Cal.
Very good ball, really clean landing on that. Judges are looking for complete shoulders open as they go onto the table. And when you do that first part correctly, that's when the stick comes.
Nice routine from Olivia Dunn.
It's great to see her so much in the lineup. I know in the off season she worked really hard, did a lot of Pilates to fine tune her gymnastics, and it's paying off.
Now Avery Neff on beam. Faith Torres follows a 9.95 from Peterson. If you thought Oklahoma might open the door a little bit on ball, they are slamming it in the rest of the team's faces here with this bar rotation.
Watch how high this is on bars. And this pirouette that Faith does is so well because she turns that first wrist over so fast to get her on top of the bar. And Avery doing a great job on beam. When you're nervous, you tend to rush your skills, and she is doing an excellent job of taking her time.
We got the Oklahoma contingent behind us, chanting the OU. And I tell you what, we're on 10-0 watch. We said it'd be hard to come by, but with Lily Peterson getting that 9.95 and Faith Torres throwing up that amazing routine with a stuck landing, they're starting to loosen up these judges. We'll see what they do. Amari Drayton on floor. Can they keep pace with the Sooners? It feels like a two-team race at best at this point.
And I'm so impressed with Avery. That was fantastic. You can't teach being able to handle that kind of pressure like that, and the form that she has is exquisite.
No 10-0 for Faith Torres, but another 9.95. And by the way, the defending NCAA champion Audrey Davis is coming up next for the Sooners. MJ Frazier follows that Mayhew 9.9. What can Cal do with their last two routines here?
MJ on vault doing the most difficult vault in the entire competition. Yurchenko double twist. So difficult. That's the type of vault that we see at the Olympic Games. You don't get extra tense for it here. You should, but it generally leaves the judges with just an overall better impression of the vault. So I really admire that she's taking that extra risk. And Amari has trained with my teammate Simone Biles. You may have heard of her.
I have. And I've heard rumors. The best to ever do the sport. There's Courtney McCool-Griffith, the associate head coach for the LSU Tigers, the main floor coach, also an Olympic silver medalist from 2004. Does an amazing job.
Courtney was one of my idols when I was younger. One of my favorite gymnasts.
She's still my idol, I'll be honest. She is a worker. Amelie Morgan on beam follows Neff's 9.9. Avery Neff, she has started her collegiate career as many thought she would. Here's Audrey Davis now, a 9.9. I am being told from Audrey Davis. Clinches this meet for Oklahoma. A 9.9 is something she just rolls out of bed and does in the morning. That is easy business for her.
I agree. We should be on 10 watch with this bar routine right here. Audrey is one of the best bar workers in all of NCAA. Watch this skill right here. The amount of shoulder flexibility this takes is incredible. Beautiful.
She had been hunting a 10-0 for most of her career. She finally got her first 10-0 on bars last season, and it's that routine, Allie, every single time. The Sooners behind me, they want a 10. The one thing is her dismount and how she lands with her feet a little bit staggered. I don't know if that's a deduction. Some judges decide that it is. That is what it comes down to for her.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too. The judges want to have your feet be planted exactly next to each other, and one of her feet is just ever so slightly behind the other one, so the judges feel she's not rotating that half twist completely.
If it's not a 10, it's not. One of the judges gave her a 10. It's a 9.975 for Audrey Davis. Audrey Davis lives on a 9.975 on that bar routine. I'd love to know how many of those she's gotten in her career. Kaylin Cheeto on floor exercise. Mari Drayton puts up a 9.95, so things building for LSU as well. Maya Lazan or Cal on ball.
Out. From this angle, I wasn't sure if she was going to land short. It looked like she missed the block off the table a little bit, but I could have been wrong. Did a great job twisting very fast to find that landing.
Great finish for the Cal Bears, a pair of 9.9s. It's not going to be enough to catch Oklahoma, but they have put down the gauntlet. This is going to be an exciting season, in particular between these four teams. Grace McCallum will finish things up for Utah. I mean, watch this mount. This makes me break into cold sweats every time I see it. Incredible.
And Kaylin finishing with a 2.5 punch front. I think that's one of the most riskiest and most difficult connections on the floor. That 2.5, you don't want to take off completely vertical. You want to be about 10 degrees backwards. So you've got to time that perfectly. Otherwise, you miss that punch front. Did that perfectly there. And Grace struggled in the warm-ups here. It's very hard when you mess up in the warm-up to quickly turn the page and take a deep breath and block that out and just do what you know how to do every day in the gym. When crooked on that back handspring layout, step out. When you're on beam, if you go even slightly crooked, it's really difficult to get yourself back straight.
Last students to go for Oklahoma on bars, Jordan Bowers. A lot of pressure on her to drop that 9.875. And if you didn't notice, that was sarcasm. What a rotation for the Sooners to finish this thing out.
Watch this Pike Jaeger. Her legs are together the entire time, and watch the body position at the top of the bar. Grace finishing up for Utah with an excellent routine. As I mentioned, coming back from a mistake in the warm-up. That is why she competed in the Olympics, because she's able to handle the pressure like that. And then going to do a full-in dismount on bars. Legs glued together. Gorgeous.
Every year, Oklahoma, they are absolutely precision gymnastics. And this event, I'm impressed every time, even though they do it all the time.
I agree. They're so detail-oriented and so intentional. Watch the way her knees and her toes are just glued together.
So the redemption tour begins, and it begins big time for the Oklahoma Sooners. Hey, the LSU Tigers certainly came out with a big performance here as well. And look at those scores to finish this thing out. 9.925 from the freshman Karym Shaheed. Leah Finnegan, she can perform here.
Typical Arabian into that stag jump right there. One of the most difficult tumbling passes in the entire competition tonight.
Jordan Bowers with that 9.925 on bars. She gets the all-around title. What a battle it was for that award as well tonight.
There's that difficult 2.5 punch front. Wow. Had so much height, actually kicked her legs open to be able to stick that.
What a performance again today from Leah Finnegan. Here's another look at this first pass, Allie.
Arabian double front cannot spot the landing. So difficult to do. It gets that 1/10 bonus for connecting that into that stag jump. That was incredible. LSU did, all the teams today were national championship ready. That was a really fun competition to watch.
The legend from LSU, Dee Bro. She's built that program in Baton Rouge for decades. And she was thrilled to see that banner go up last weekend in the PMAC for that national title. 197.95. Oklahoma flirts with that 198. That's the Boomer Sooner chant going on. They should be thrilled with their performance today.
They absolutely should.
They flirt with the 10-0 again. Aaliyah Finnegan a 9.975. One judge gave her a 10. What's wrong with you, the other judge? Come on. We thought we were going to finish with a 10 here in Oklahoma City. Oklahoma gets the win. LSU second. We're going to wrap things up when we come back.